Coppola. She's a former speech and debate coach at an intercollegiate level. She was, as a student, was the first team to go to the National Debate Tournament from Southwest Texas State University, and still the only woman to qualify for the National Debate Tournament. Even LBJ, who was the captain of the debate team, never qualified for this prestigious tournament. So who knows where we'll see this young lady later on. Currently, she's the academic advisor for Texas State and adjunct for Austin Community College. Over 20 feature films and television shows. Have, as a featured background actor, acted with Billy Bob Thornton, Eddie Falco, William Hurt, and we won't try to hold her connections with Hollywood against her. But she's here today. She loves America. She's a great community organizer, and she'll tell you a little bit about that. You've heard a lot about community organizers lately, so we thought we'd bring one here for you. Would you welcome Lisa Marie Coppola?
Got a female cousin.
Hello, I'm here today to talk about holding the line with local activism and the two specific victories that we had in San Marcos in the name of liberty. Back in March of April of this year, two spontaneous liberty movements emerged in both March and April, and to defend not only individual responsibility, but we also told obtrusive government that the line stops in San Marcos, Texas. After a public outcry and organization of Ron Paul supporters, we had one instance in which 300 of our citizens from San Marcos in Central Texas came to our city hall to tell our elected officials that we did not want mandatory microchip pets, because the municipal ordinance they had just passed said that every one of us had to go down and get our dog microchipped. In another instance, a devoted band of veterans and mothers with babies and students marched from a coffee shop down to the county commissioner's court, and we defeated a major corporation and their contract for roads just through our activism and liberty-minded people. Let me tell you, my brothers and sisters in liberty, we have overturned the local government obtrusive, and we have mobilized, all bound by liberty revolution and all bound by the faith in the United States Constitution. Our successes reflect coalition building across parties. Our successes also reflect healing divisions within parties. And we also demonstrates that when citizens become mobilized, they can tell obtrusive government that individual liberty and personal responsibility should be the touchstone. The Constitution is where we should turn our attention to. The first example was this RFID passage that they had for an ordinance, an animal control ordinance. And my husband and I were quite concerned because we didn't want our dog Kayla, our border collie, and Scout to be microchipped. So we created a Facebook event. And y'all, within one day we had 100 people sign up on our Facebook. And within the second protest, the first protest, there were 30 of us. We were all liberty-minded people. The second protest, 300 citizens showed up. Every time you opened up the door to City Hall, you could hear the chanting of 300 people talking about personal liberty because we did not want to microchip our animals. The second time, as I told you, we organized with a small band of veterans, and because of this, not only did we overturn and have victories in the name of liberty, but we implemented systemic change. Because now, when the city council has a board policy, they will increase the amount of discussion that citizens have. And the county has now adopted an ethics policy to evaluate the business practices before they give contracts to outside industry. So as you can see, we've had victories of liberty, but we've also created some long-term change. How did we accomplish this? Through online social media such as Facebook. We wrote letters to the editor. We had protests. We went door to door. And then we also received national radio coverage. Now, I'm a grassroots candidate, and we all realize how important that is. And I want to encourage y'all in this community that going door to door is one of the most powerful things. We actually have a Google map on our campaign page where you can see, so far in June, we've had 2,000 leaflets go out for our political campaign, and that's 5 months out. We're still going through to November. I want to thank y'all for this opportunity, and I think this is a wonderful example of people across parties getting together, and I appreciate your time in the name of liberty, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Isn't she a stick of dynamite? Don't get in her way.